What's up? Welcome back. I'm John Stark, MacTheMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and it's a TV review. I've done you one better. I've seen the first 3 episodes of Dope Thief, and I just saw it late enough. I finally got through everything, and then I got through the 3rd episode, and I was like, "Well, let's talk about the first 3 episodes." So, Dope Thief, is it worth your time? After 3 episodes, let's talk about it. Click like and subscribe, because I'm a blind film critic and we talk about audio description. And this show actually has really pretty good audio description. There's actually quite a bit of violence in here that is described pretty well. Uh, the first episode definitely had a scene that was a little bit of a shootout that I thought was well described. There was a scene that wasn't a shootout where there were things that were being held back from our information to build tension that I thought was done really well. Second episode had sort of a brutal, where we didn't get to see the action so much, and we just kind of showed up on afterwards, and everybody's just totally fucked up, and we saw that, and we were like, oh god. And it still had a shootout afterwards. So some really good description there. One of the best tracks is the diaper dog moment when Brian has to transport his dog, and he gives it like a makeshift diaper. And I thought that was, because it's totally a visual aspect, but I thought it was funny. That he doesn't want his dog to go to the bathroom in a car, so he essentially makes a diaper for the dog and saves it. Anyway, and the 3rd episode has definitely, again, some random acts of violence that are portrayed pretty well. The whole series isn't violent. Sometimes it has moments of levity in it too. But Brian Tyree Henry and Wagner Moura star, although the first 3 episodes have not done a good job of making them feel like co-stars. The first 3 episodes, if you watch this, if Apple was trying to campaign Wagner Moura in lead for anything, he would never get the votes, because he doesn't have nearly the screen time that Brian does. There's not nearly enough focus on him. He doesn't have... it's so, the disparity in their screen time is so wide in the first 3 episodes. It feels like Brian is the lead and Wagner is there, and I don't know why they're billing them as co-leads. Like, Wagner's not that big of a star, but I felt like all the ads were like Brian Tyree Henry, Wagner Moura. Academy Award nominee, Brian Tyree Henry, Golden Globe nominee, Wagner Moura. Oh, okay. He's very much not in this nearly as much as you would think from those advertisements that makes him seem like he's starring in Dope Thief. Unless the show just is going to flip really hard later on. He's really... every time that the story has to choose whenever they split up, whenever they go about their own lives, it always follows Brian's character. But basically, they're 2 guys who have decided to Robin Hood their way through life, and they steal from low-level drug dealers, figuring that no one's going to care. It's a victimless crime, pretending to be DEA agents who raid and basically they use their guns and power, and they let people off the hook, quote, let the people off the hook, and just take their stuff instead and confiscate. Be like, well, we can't let you. Consider this a warning. So they're pretty convincing. I mean, they've watched obviously a fair amount of TV shows to make it feel like that when they bust in the door that they have some sort of DEA profile to them, and they have the gear to sort of match it. So the first episode, we see them sort of established as what it is that they're doing. We get a little bit of backstory with Brian, where he is now, where he was. These both Brian and Wagner's characters were both in jail at some point, which is how they met. And they ended up together outside of jail doing this stuff because they don't know how else to make money. And they figured, why not rob people who, you know, don't need the money anyway. And until one day they break into the wrong house based on a bad tip. It's a house that looks like it's supposed to be maybe easy to take, but it's very much not. And then they end up messing with the wrong people and the wrong crews, and these people seem really able to find out everything pretty quickly about them and track them, and suddenly they're running for their lives. So that's Dope Thief. That's at least the first 3 episodes. I did actually get a screener for this from Apple, but my my thing with Apple, I mean, it's possible. I should check like every single title, but I've previously screened things through Apple and they didn't have audio description. So I've used their platform, their for your consideration platform or whatever. It didn't have audio description. So it's like, why would I? It's the same problem that I had recently with Odessa, which I also got the advanced screener for. It's like, I would like to, but if you guys aren't going to bring the audio description tracks over to your screening platforms, then why? I'm not going to do it. You know, I'm not going to. I had Daredevil Born Again offered to me, all 9 episodes of it. I couldn't review it because I need audio description. That's the whole point. That's why I'm here, is to be the blind film critic who talks also about audio description, whether or not it works and how it works and how we use audio description to watch through things. So I don't mind so much if it feels like something that I'm not going to see, you know, in a week anyway. But sometimes these screeners are like a week before, and it's like, well, that's going to be on a streaming service in a week that I have access to anyway. Why would I do that? Why would I make that choice? So it's just like, I'll just wait. So yeah, I probably could still use my login and finish out, but then I would be watching those episodes without audio description. So you get first 3 episodes. Some other critics, yeah, they do. I'll validate them. They did get the full season because I was offered the full season. So I'm just reviewing the first 3 episodes because that's what's been released with audio description. But I like the show. So it's not even like a not recommend. It's a recommend. I'm enjoying the show so far. It's not my favorite show. I just had a super interesting conversation with somebody who follows my blog part. I talk a lot about regular TV shows on my website, macthemovieguy.com, more than I do on here, you know, because I don't want to recap every single episode of every single TV show that I'm watching. And so I was talking about Severance, and I was constantly putting it at the top of my rankings. And somebody told me the other day that they were like, I can't get into Severance. I don't understand. That's my one gripe is you keep putting that show at number 1, and I can't. And I'm like, well, to be fair, I actually think it got better in the second season. The first season, I thought it was good, but it wasn't like my favorite Apple show. I just thought the show got better in the second season. So I don't know if that's going to be a thing for many people. Dope Thief comes in strong, and my biggest gripe has to do a lot with the way that the show was marketed, because Wagner just doesn't have the screen time to warrant mentioning. This should just be Brian Tyree Henry's show. Like, he's in it, but so are other actors. Like, I just don't understand why Wagner is being promoted as a co-lead when his screen time is not even remotely close to Brian's. Like, so wildly not close. Yeah, so if you're showing up for Wagner more, I need you to know he's barely in some of the episodes. Uh, yeah, anyway, Dope Thief. I'm for the most part I'm here for it. So I'm gonna give it an A minus first three episodes. And yeah, I recommend it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll see you guys on the other side.